be sure. So it seems it works. It seems it works. Doesn't work yet. Ah, okay. There is always a little delay, which is a little bit disturbing, but it's all good now. And so I'm going to go through I just have a few slides of introduction. So the goal of this live YouTube is to give you feedback on landing pages directly on YouTube and with the ability to interact and see your comments. And it's not only to give feedback, but it's also to show you how I do it so that you can do it by yourself as you design your web page. You can and take a hat as being thinking like me and looking at your work with a perspective of web design, landing page, copywriting, and a business perspective as well. So just to introduce myself, I'm Bruno Wink. I have 20 years of experience in web design, landing page and e-commerce website. But I'm not a specialist in either of design or copywriting. I'm more like a generalist. And so my method is based on, as opposed to experts who are only focusing on design or only focusing on copywriting or on SEO or on marketing. I look at all four aspects. And in my opinion, it's better to be reasonably good in all aspects together instead of having a super good design and a very bad copy or a very bad stack or very bad SEO. So for me, the interest is to go and look at all aspects in the same time. And so I have a little checklist, something you have to switch in your mind before you start looking at the page, because it's important that what matter is what you are going to see in the first seconds. So you must be, it's a little bit like entering a stage. You must prepare a little bit yourself before you go in public. So keep a beginner mindset. Assume you know little on the page topic, that you are not an expert. You are not the person selling it. Just the opposite. You are the customer and you are in his shoes, her shoes, not on the owner, on the website owner shoes. Keep it above the fold and fast means you don't scroll, you don't touch anything, you just look. And you should check mobile first. So after we do this presentation, I will invite you to look at our waiting list for the app we are preparing, or you can direct message me on Twitter at Bruno Wink, or even send me a mail and ask for an invite at bwinvites@nivrio.com. And you will receive a few bonus, among them the checklist and a link to the full recording of today. So let's go live. My first, let me check first if I have any comments. I'm still pretty new with all these things. It doesn't seem to have many comments yet. I can see the comments somewhere. Okay, I can see them, but I don't see them. No, never mind. So since I didn't have request for a page to explore today, as opposed to 2 weeks ago, this live is going to be repeated every 2 weeks. I picked a few sites that have been suggested in my timeline on Twitter. And this one is from some guy who is doing quick iterations on new offers and new apps. So keep in mind that this page has been built reasonably fast. And what we see when we come on the page, I'm looking at it from a desktop perspective. We see a long headline here, a reasonably short subheadline, but a little bit broken by many small expressions and emojis. And then we have a call to action, which is view demo. It's reasonably simple. So that's a big benefit. It's simple. Now, if we look again and think again as being a non-specialist, you are not somebody who is in SEO or in the nitty-gritty of nerdy side of web design. And you see automate, okay, automate, yes, your Open Graph social image. And there, as I told to the website owner, the guy who designed it, I stopped because my assumption is unless you are a designer, unless you are somebody who has been working in this field for a little bit of time, you don't know what is an Open Graph social image. You don't know what is the benefit of having one, and you don't know what it is. So what you see is Open Graph, well, graph, Open Graph, nothing that tells me. If I'm, let's say, a guy who is designing his website for his small business, and he is using WordPress or Wix or maybe some templates, Open Graph is not going to say him anything. So the first reaction will be to bounce and to look somewhere else, unless I'm looking really for that, but it's pretty rare. So if I look for a better explanation, just the line below, it's not going to be much better. Get a better CTR, click-through rate. Okay, I'm helped because here there is a little, you see, if I move my mouse just on it, there is a little help. Maybe it's also on Graph Social Image the same. No. So to your link with engaging OG, so now we have again, I forgot the word. I have a good, and the conclusion is that I can scan these two lines, and I don't really know what is really the outcome of providing my website here. Since there is no risk, nobody is asking me for any commitments, nobody is asking me to give my email or give a credit card, of course there is no risk, and I can click view a demo just to get an idea. If I look a little bit around the page now, I see here there is a kind of comparison between what you have today, the state before and the state after. It's a little bit schematic, but it's not too bad. But it's already getting too much in detail. Use the same OG image for every page. What is the impact of it? What is bad in doing that? I don't know. So the only thing I can do is to try, and maybe it will clarify. I'm going to try it with my website. Maybe it's going to clarify what we get. Okay, it takes 30 seconds. Let's wait 30 seconds. And now we have what I have today, which is basically that I don't have an OG image, and an OG image, which is a screenshot of the page. Now, we can discuss the value proposition of that. In my opinion, just a screenshot is not super engaging, let's say. So what I would suggest to this person is to just work on these two lines here to make it much clearer, and to also align. Here you have view demo, here you have get started. I don't know exactly what is the difference between the two. Viewing your demo is already being started. So usually a rule is that you have only one CTA per page, even if it's a home page, especially for this kind of situation where you have a very focused home page. So that was my first page. And I don't know if I have any questions, maybe. Not yet. Maybe I should be on live page here to see a little bit more. And I suggest we switch to another page, which I kept this week, a totally different topic. It's a guy who is selling a course. And I thought this web page was interesting because it has a lot of good practice in it. So it pushed us a little bit further in the analysis. So we have a headline: learning defines everything in your life. Okay, it's a statement, maybe a bold statement. It's attracting me because I'm always interested in learning. However, there are no promise very visible. I mean, the promise, first you need to learn how. That's maybe the promise of this page so far, but it's not so visible. So even if the design is very simple, even if here we have a little bit of problem, struggle with learning and you may become obsolete. The picture shows not much. It basically shows that there are many use cases, many situations where this matter. We have students, we have somebody who is learning art, we have a doctor. So we can imagine that this guy in the middle is seeing himself in the different situations. So you need to scroll a little bit to see the promise. It doesn't appear at once. You need the right method, not a high IQ. Okay. The pictures are pretty engaging. There is a lot of work done on the animation and on the scroll. And now we have one promise, which is clearly stated: confidently ace your next exam. Okay, but let's suppose I have an exam. Now I have an alternate promise. And that's one of the critique I would do, one of the first critique I would do on the page, is that it's targeting many different markets, many different audience. Students, which are very clear and very well-defined audience; career, people who want to make progress on their career; people who want to be more interesting and smarter. So it's not totally disconnected, but from my knowledge on the topic, it's still different problems and different challenges faced by these four audience. So now we keep looking into the problem and which kind of solution. So that's the agitation, making it harder. We have already a buy now here, a CTA. Buy now is not a very strong CTA because it doesn't really promise a change for me. It just mean I'm going to have less money. But it doesn't mean I'm going to have a success after it. So they could be a bit more by learn or learn how to be smarter. Some, however, try of yes, pain, agitation of the pain, keep it hurts, and then we have we was going as a solution, and again uh, and a complete was and again one more. So when we reach this stage, we are more or less convinced that the person who is making the offer is capable of doing this offer. He has the background to make this offer. So now we get into the solution. What is the solution? The solution is Rapid Learner. It's a 6-week program to help you learn more effectively. Okay, I hate commas. I hate commas because it's always a risk that you lose the conciseness. You are not exactly sure what you want to say. So it could have stopped here. Learn more effectively. And then what it means to learn more effectively is to learn faster and deeper. So this could have been a little bit sharper as a copy. So we go again into the 4 audience of the program. So who is Rapid Learner for? For students. Now, if I'm not a student, I may very well leave the page there because I'm not a student. I don't know that there are other target audience. And here we have testimonial. Well, it's not a bad idea to put testimonials a little bit early in the page. One thing that I like is that each testimonial comes with a short snippet, a short extract, which goes exactly to the pain. One tip was enough. And if I really want to learn more, I can look into the video, I can open this pane, and I can listen. So let's make it extremely strong, because now I have somebody talking to me. So in terms of social proof, is extremely strong. And the idea of having this collapsible video make a balance between having just a short snippet that I can just scroll through, or getting instantly deeper instead of having a link. If it was a link to another page, it would take me out from the landing page, which would be bad. So that repeats for second audience, third audience. Now, when I get there, and if I am a student, I would be interested to know more instantly. I don't want to go for professionals and for that. So the only solution I have is this CTA, which is a little bit off the way now because it's on the bottom, it's on the side, and it's directly buy now. It's a little bit brutal for transition. I think it would have been nice to have a dedicated CTA here, something like learn faster or learn ace your exam and send me down to the bottom of the page. So because now we have to scroll for the different audience, and then we have the program itself, which is interesting. However, it's a little bit long, and if I'm not sufficiently informed of what I need to learn, it it doesn't really help me. So it's a little bit too much information for this stage. What is new in the second edition? And totally mastery. So now we are going into the different editions. We have a way to save it, but we still don't know the price. So that's a little bit weird because I think it would be more interesting to have all these details about total mastery and saving and what are the new additions after the pricing. But now I get the pricing and I see total mastery edition, and now I can be, no, I'm not ready to decide to take a full mastery edition. I need to know more. But I only have the FAQ below, and again the pricing. So instead of that, I would have moved the pricing a lot before, and I would have placed CTA directly to the pricing page to skip all this copy, which many people will not be interested at first. So that was my second page. And I want to transition on a page I saw this morning. We are 22 minutes in. No idea where this page come from, just something I've been clicking on. Generate videos from text. Deep Brain AI, no idea what this company is about. But just going to refresh the page because the pop-up, yeah, the pop-up menu comes at once. But it's not blocking, so I can still scroll, I can still read, I can still see what it is about, so it's not too bad. What you should absolutely avoid is cookies consent form, which blocks completely the screen. You don't even know what you can do. So let's press the deny here. And what strikes me on this page is the simplicity of it. That's a promise. Generate videos from text. Okay, I don't need much more than that. I know what I have. And then I have a little bit of more explanation on what exactly it is and what is the real benefit. Accelerate your video project at scale. And I have a CTA. It's stupid blue button. I mean, it's a design from 10 years ago. But it makes sense. That's what I'm going to do if I click here. I will create a free AI video. You have space when you create your web page. You see, buy now. Why don't say, tell me more? Why don't you repeat the promise and put it in terms of benefits instead of in terms of paying something? It's a little bit the same with I closed it. If I can reopen from there, the one on the open social. So why I mean, and this is another interesting theory, is no credit card required. This is exactly the opposite of the buy now. This means it's risk-free. There is nothing that will hinder my progress if I click here. I'm not going to be obliged to commit to something. I don't know what happens if I click. Let's click. Okay. And now we get into the demo. That's also reasonably clever because I'm now in a closed environment where I'm just in the demo and I can be converted further. Because there is already a prompt, I don't need to think about it. There are 3 options for prompts. And I can just click. So for this page, I think it's very simple page and, in my opinion, pretty efficient. Perhaps this one, which I picked also this morning, 30 days UI design program. And we have a little bit the same simplicity. That's a promise. And the promise is for me, become UI design job ready. Okay, that's maybe a mouthful here. But in 30 days, at least it's clear. That's what I will get in 30 days, how long it will take, and what I will be able to do. And then I have a little bit more clarity here on what it is exactly. And we have 2 CTAs. We have 2 CTAs, one which is really the big one, enroll in the program, which will likely oblige me to pay something. But the CTA is not on buy, the CTA is on enroll. The CTA is on the benefit I get, not on what I will lose. And if I'm not ready, I can see the curriculum. Because the background of the button is so dark and so blended into the background of the page, it's really visible that this is the main CTA. If I look around and look at other pink colors, here I have another button, but in fact it's the same, enroll in program, enroll in program. But this one will disappear if I scroll, while this one will stay. And there is a picture, but in fact it doesn't matter so much. I'm not going to stick on it. So why should you become a UI designer? Now we are going into the problem. That are the benefits from becoming a UI designer. Okay, I'll scroll, and it's an immersive. And you remember, compared to the rapid learner, we are here only at 1/3 of the 1/4 of the page, but we have already an idea of how much I'm going to pay if I want to join this program. And I have more or less the same information. I have here the curriculum, which is a detail of what I'm going to learn. And now that's also interesting. It's for you if, it's not for you if. If I compare to the rapid learner, it was a little bit like the 4 audience block, but now we are defining only 1 audience. So I would say for me, it's pretty good. And so that was, I think, the 3rd one. And maybe we have a few minutes to look into an example that was submitted on Twitter this morning by Yuri. And I see that a lot. People who share 2 designs, it's usually designers, and which of the hero section would work better in your opinion? Well, if I look at the first one, it's really very classic. But without even getting into the design, if I compare with our best AI video generator, 1, 2, 3, 4 words. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I still don't know what it gives. Fit, comma, you remember I don't like the comma. Fit, habit, challenge. The comma is an and or an or, depending on the case. transform your lifestyle today. Lifestyle is something extremely general. So how can you change my lifestyle with an app? Not very clear. Join a community of motivated individuals, unlock your potential, and achieve your fitness goals together. Okay, and now we have a second suggestion, but the same copy there, which is more or less normal. I mean, if you are, if your job is to redesign a page, you don't have the possibility to rework the copy. But in most cases, poor copy, design cannot save poor copy. You need a good copy before you go to design. Otherwise, the end result will always be poor. So we still have this long headline, which is not very precise. One good point is that it's directly talking to me. And we have now this picture of the app, how the app looks like. So we know it's an app. We know it's more or less graphical with different process. But the discussion was about the use of the picture here. So let's move on the plus, on the positive side. Putting a human is always interesting. I mean, it's attracting the eye. This person is looking on the right, and so her gaze is directing us to look at the screen here. Maybe we can imagine that's what she's looking at. But if we do like this, you know the Z shape. When we scan screens, we tend to go in Z. So we start on her head. As humans, we are attracted by other humans more than by text. If there is a human somewhere on the page, that's what I'm going to look at first. And if I look at a human, I'm going to look at the face in first. And I will look at the eyes if it's possible, because we are trained as humans to try to establish eye contact and to try to see what the others are looking at. So we end up looking at her eyes, which are behind her arms. And then we move on the right on the screenshots. And then we go on a Z. So we go to the list of avatars, which are here. And strange enough, we miss the text and we miss the CTA, which are which become secondary. And if I look at the person, I don't really see from what she does why does she need a nap. She seems to be very deep engaged into her yoga session. I'm questioning the need. So that was a little bit my problem. The other thing is that the person is on a vertical axis. The screenshot of the phone is also on a vertical axis, while the text is on the horizontal axis. So we have to change our direction of reading the text. So what I would have done, maybe move the picture on the other side, maybe put the picture of the lady here on the left, maybe put the text in the middle, maybe put the screenshot on the other side. Like this, we are obliged to move on the text between her eyes and the screenshot. The other problem I have with this is the mobile. How will you convert it into a similar design if you move on mobile? Because typically what happens when you move on mobile is that the text block will move first and the screenshot will move after. So it makes sense. But now if you have this picture of the lady, it will force a situation where the picture will be crammed behind the text. So that's something I don't see well going. So let's close our discussion here. And let's go back to close this live. So the next step, if you are interested to continue in this direction, you can sign up and get your be on the waiting list of the app. Or if it's easier for you, you can directly DM me or send me an email at bwinvite@near.com. And your bonuses will be this checklist that I prepare. It's on Notion or in PDF. You will get it in the confirmation link, or you can get a link to the full recording of today. So I wish you a nice afternoon and have a nice day. Bye-bye.